It's time for Tiger Talk Tuesday, coming live from MIGS. Tiger Talk Tuesday is sponsored by Ag South, Aiken Electric Cooperative, Amick Farm, Berry Insurance Agency, CM Tree Service, Crouch Hardware and Farm Supply, Economy Furniture, Edwards Heating and Cooling, Gentry & Sons Fencing, H&R Block, JRA Exterminating, Lake Murray Properties, Mid-Carolina Electric Cooperative, MIGS of Salute, Motor Coach Paint and Body Car Sale, Newberry Hospital, Northland Paper, Pascon Roll-Off Services, Perez Tire, Persimmon Hill Country Club, the Rotten Heavy Duty Towing, Pumps PB and Jam, Amy Funeral Home, Reclaim Physical Therapy, Saluda Nursing and Rehab Center, Saluda Young Farmers, Senator Billy Garrett, The Best Dressed Chicken, the Charlie Foundation, the Law Office of Nancy D. George, the Ridge Baptist Association of Churches, the South Carolina Department of Education, the South Carolina Education Lottery, the Town of Saluda, the Wills Agency Nationwide Insurance, TimelessRoofingSC.com, and Tucker's Lawn Service and Landscape. We're so glad you're tuned in to the best of North Saluda on Tiger Talk Tuesday. You're watching Saluda Now. And we're glad to be back here with you on Tiger Talk Tuesday, coming live from MIGS. Call in or comment your questions now, 864-980-7768. We would love to take your calls on the air. Just let us know, and we're here from 2:30 to 4 p.m. right here from MIGS. We appreciate MIGS letting us come out and being with them today. And I tell you what, they've got a great special going on here tonight. Buy one pizza, get the second one half off. And as we're joining you here today, we're going to be talking about several things. Of course, we'll be talking about the big news at South Carolina, which I think is some of the biggest news maybe in South Carolina history, if South Carolina Gamecock history, that is. If it plays out, he's the biggest name or the biggest rated quarterback ever to come from the transfer portal to a Division I school, and that is Spencer Rattler transferring from Oklahoma. It's a big pickup for the Gamecocks. I told somebody this week I thought it was as big as when Stephen Garcia came to South Carolina. So we'll see how that plays out. We're also going to talk about the money these colleges are getting all the time, and it makes your head spin. And then we're going to be talking about the Pick'em contest, and the game of the week, that's right, is the South Carolina State Bulldogs as they go up against the Jackson State Tigers. And Coach Willie Jeffries is going up against Neon Dion. It's going to be a noon start there in Atlanta, the Cricket Celebration Bowl. And on ABC, if you're busy, hey, DVR it like I'm going to do, because we've got family obligations this coming Saturday with Christmas and everything going on. So be sure to make sure, and it might help if I get in here and edit the post and share it on Saluda Now. Probably some of y'all wonder where is the post at. I can't see it. We're doing that right now. I tell you what, let's take a commercial break. we come back, we're going to introduce Daniel Stone. He's going to be here to talk with us something very important. It's the playoffs. It's been suggested there be a 16-team playoff. And we're going to talk about those scenarios and where do you think all these teams should land? And we're going to talk about that and what could possibly take place if we had a 16-team playoff. We'll be back here with you in just a moment on Tiger Talk Tuesday, coming live from MIGS. Call in or comment 864-980-7768. You're watching Saluda Now.
Crowded neighborhoods, Ag South Mortgages can help you stop dreaming and start living. Call 844-AG-SOUTH, that's 844-AGSOUTH, or visit agsouthfc.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 61978.
Aiken Electric Cooperative is to empower communities by providing reliable, competitively priced energy and other services desired by our membership. Aiken Electric Cooperative, your energy company, offers a wide variety of products and services designed to enhance the quality of life of our member owners' services. We're constantly finding programs, developing new ones. Just another way we're always looking for you at Aiken Electric Cooperative, your touchstone energy cooperative.
We all need to be able to count on our jobs, count on full-time hours and shift options, count on competitive pay, count on medical benefits and vacation pay, count on on-site job training, count on opportunities to grow into even higher-paying jobs. Amick Farms is now hiring for all shifts in the food production industry. You can count on Amick Farms for a career. Visit amickfarms.com to apply today.
Berry Insurance Group offers auto, home, farm, commercial. Call Will Berry today, 803-307-0030. Visit us on our website, berryingroup.com, and talk to Will Berry about your insurance needs. CM Tree Service. Cody Berry and Martin Berry are ready to give you a free estimate. We're insured for tree removal and pruning. Call us today, 864-377-7898 or 864-980-0153. And like us on Facebook, CM Tree Service. Save money, save time. Shop Crouch's First. Whether it's lumber, paint, hardware, electrical, plumbing, we supply you from feed to field. Yeti, Traeger, Blackstone, Costa, Salty Britches, Milwaukee, Makita, and much more. Come by and visit us today. 508 North Main Salute or call 864-445-0063.
Shop local at Economy Furniture. Huge savings on Benchcraft, Lazy Boy, Best Home Furnishings, and so many more. Visit our website now to see all our specials at economyfurniture.com. Right on the corner, right on the price.
Hey, we're glad to be back here with you on Tiger Talk Tuesday, coming live from MIGS. And I have a very special guest with us today. And hold on just a second. I got to get this pulled up right here. Y'all bear with me for a minute. And we're glad to have with us Daniel Stone in the house. Daniel, thank you for joining us on Saluda Now.
I appreciate the opportunity to be here. It's great to be able to sit down and talk some football and stuff with you. Being
Yeah.
newer to the community.
That's right. Tell us a little bit about your family and moving here.
So 19 years in the Army, working towards that 20, but just moved here from Alaska. Last of a long line of duty stations.
Yeah.
My wife and I decided that it was time to settle down and plant some roots. And luckily for me, she's really good at picking out houses. So she was able to find us one, and here we are. And couldn't be happier. Kids enjoying the community. They're both in school here. Which, quick shout out to my son Grayson. It's his 14th birthday today, so I just want to say happy birthday to him.
Happy birthday, Grayson.
Yeah,
All
and
right.
that's kind of where we're at this point. So still learning the lay of the land, but it's been a very positive experience for us. The community has been amazing. So thank you again.
Well, we appreciate y'all. We're glad y'all are here. And, of course, we're glad you viewed Saluda Now. That's how you came about being with us. You made a suggestion for us, and I said, why don't you just come on the show and talk a little bit about it?
Yeah, I really enjoyed watching Saluda Now, especially when we first got here, watching the high school playoffs and the different games. It was very educational. I really enjoy football in general, so it was amazing to get that. So I thought I'd share this 16-team playoff.
Yeah,
with
let's
you.
go to that. Daniel? All right, the first game we see up here. First, let's talk a little bit about it. You give me a little background on this that I didn't know about. Tell us a little bit about it.
So, this was initially discussed. I'm sure it's been discussed every year by.
Yes.
You have your football playoff committee, but then you also have like a football program committee as well. That's not part of the selection process, and they're the ones that are in charge of determining what are the rules and the standards for the college football playoff. But an article actually came out in late April said that this was a big point of contention, and most of the committee members agree that it's only a matter of time before the playoff will have to get expanded. Now,
Right.
I think some of the issues, one, has to be unanimous decision by the entire council to make any change, but also they have a 12-year contract on this college football playoff the way it is.
Wow.
So-
12 years. So that would put us, right now we're in 2021, so that'd be 2033?
I want to say 2025 because we've been in
Oh,
it
okay.
for, 5 or 6 years now.
Yes.
So-
Okay. It's about to expire.
Yeah, so.
Okay.
But it is quite possible that it changes sooner than that because
Yeah.
they have put a subcommittee
You know,
together.
COVID changes everything, don't
Yeah,
it?
it does. Yeah, it does. And also, the college football game is changing
Oh, yeah.
between players and coaches and
Yeah.
programs. It's changing. So I think that this playoff has got to change as well to really see who is the best team in the nation.
Yeah, let's talk about your scenarios here. First, we see Alabama and Oklahoma teamed up 1-16.
I think it's a great matchup.
Yeah, I do too. I'd love to
Traditionally,
see it.
I think Oklahoma has bad luck in bowl games. But
And I think this would work through the bowl games, right? Sort of like it is now.
absolutely. Why?
Yeah.
Why couldn't you play these games
Right.
as bowl games? Just
Yeah.
some of the lower level bowl games
Yes.
that work up to your current.
Think about how
New
many
Year's
more
Six.
tickets I'd say.
Oh, I know. I mean, imagine if you have Alabama
Yeah.
and Oklahoma versus instead of,
Right.
Arkansas State and some random, Alcorn State or something. I mean, I'd watch these games on TV.
Oh, yeah.
So
I'm a football junkie myself. And then we see number 2 and 15, Michigan. And who would they be playing?
So that's Iowa. But you got to
Iowa,
remember,
okay.
at one point, Iowa was the number 2 ranked team in the nation.
That's right.
They went through a
I
3 or
forgot
4 game
that.
spell
Yeah.
there where they just couldn't get out of their own way.
In fact, when Georgia and Alabama were playing, they were talking about them in the scenario.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's so that's a highly competitive game right there. I
Okay.
think that, especially these middle level games that you're seeing here,
Yeah.
especially like
Hit
Ole
on a few of
Miss,
them.
Ole Miss and Oklahoma State, two
Yes.
offenses that are built
I'd love to
around
see that.
throwing the ball. I mean,
Yeah.
then you have, Cincinnati gets a BYU team. Now, I don't say that BYU is necessarily a step below some of your Power 5 schools because I think they're right in the mix. But I think it's a good test for Cincinnati. That BYU team is probably the best team that Cincinnati will play this season.
Probably so.
If that was the case.
And, I'm thinking the way they've got these aligned, just looking at it, it's already the reason that Fox came out with that is the scenario has to do with the bowl games already. They've got something in mind. as far as the vicinity and everything, because bowl games are not just picking
Correct.
this team and that team. It's about selling motel rooms, where the teams would travel at good, and
Oh,
so
the BCS is it's a big money maker.
It's a money
I mean,
thing,
there's
and TV, of course.
There's actually a book out that said
Yeah.
it's called why the BCS must die.
Right.
And it talks about the money, a lot about the money portion that the BCS playoff and all that stuff brings in, and I mean, there's some conspiracies within the book, of corruption and things, but overall it has a pretty good message, and it talks about those different aspects, geographical location. That's why you don't see a team like Southern California traveling all the way to Connecticut to play in a bowl game. Well, because it would cost more to fly them out there. They're not going to get USC fans out there. They're not going to. So they keep them playing in San Diego or Arizona, where they can maximize profits.
Yeah,
So,
and the fans can travel. Okay, talk about some of these other games.
well, I mean, a big one that. Well, what I wanted to point out with this. So
Yeah.
let's say Notre Dame and Pitt.
Right.
I think it's a good game. They're very similar, if you ask me.
Yes.
Teams, but. Maybe now Brian Kelly isn't going down to coach another team. Maybe he's sticking with the Irish right now in this 16-game playoff. And maybe we don't have this crazy coaching carousel we just went through.
That's correct.
Maybe Lincoln Riley's still in Oklahoma and
That's
not
right.
sitting at USC right now getting his staff together.
And Pitt won their first ACC championship.
They did.
And Notre Dame plays the ACC schedule. They have some kind of special agreement. I think they
For
play
football.
7 or 8 just for football, and it works out good for them because they're on NBC every week. I mean,
Yeah, and Pitt's got a
With their
Heisman
home.
Trophy candidate quarterback.
yeah, that's right.
I mean, and I think that, Georgia, I mean, playing Oregon. Oregon's a fast team.
that's awesome.
I think that's a good matchup.
Yeah.
Although I think that the Georgia
East Coast
defense,
and West Coast.
it is. I think the Georgia offense is
So that's
defense.
I'm just guessing that's probably somewhere out in Texas, if that bowl takes place,
be.
or possibly Arizona.
It could be.
That's a
Or
good place.
or you can flip the script and say, all right, for the first round of this college football playoff, the higher seed plays at home.
Yeah.
You get one more kind of home game, and then you move into the bowls.
Wow.
I mean,
That's an extra incentive to finish higher.
absolutely. And then
Yeah.
you'll have teams that maybe don't, because college football, you're not going to get people throwing games. Not like, maybe in the NFL where you sit a game, you're good players if you have a playoff spot locked in.
Right.
In college, you don't have that. So, overall, I think that it's inevitable that the college football playoff is going to expand.
Oh, yeah.
To what level that is, I don't know. I would love to see 16 teams. But even if it goes to 8, I think that you'll help, especially some of these non-Power 5 or, power program conferences get an opportunity to, like we're getting to see from Cincinnati this year.
Right.
So,
All right. Anything else about the playoffs you want to talk about?
no,
real
but I'd
quick?
love to hear if anybody has any opinions against it,
Yeah.
to be honest with you.
I'd just like to hear it myself. If you'll call in or comment, we'll take your comments on the air or your calls. 864-980-7768. We'll talk a little bit about that when we come back. You're watching Tiger Talk Tuesday live from MIGS on your Saluda Now. Edwards Heating and Cooling, Saluda, South Carolina, provides you excellent service when it comes to your HVAC unit. Keith and Dawn Edwards have many years' experience in the heating and cooling business. They invite you to call them today, 864-445-0088, or visit their website, edwardsandheatingcoolingllc.com. Go, Saluda Tigers! Gentry and Sons Fence Company, LLC. We provide quality fencing with quality services, from chain link, pasture, privacy, and vinyl. Call for a free quote, 864-992-5425, and Justin and his boys will come out to give you a repair or install a new fence. Gentry and Sons Fence Company. When it comes tax time, look no further than H&R Block, 304th North Main, Saluda. They make sure you get all the deductions you need to save money. When it comes tax time, trust the professionals at H&R Block. Call them 864-445-2958 and like them on Facebook.
JRA Exterminating, the most trusted name in pest extermination. Remember, folks, whether it's cockroaches or piss ants, call Justin Anderson at JRA Exterminating today at 803-532-1122 or at www.jraexterminating.com.
For over 30 years, Lake Murray Properties has been helping folks in Saluda and surrounding counties. We are here to assist you with all or your real estate needs, whether buying or selling lake residential or farmland. Call Tara Berry today, 803-260-0344, and visit our website, lakemurrayproperty.net. At Mid-Carolina Electric, we know the power and value of teamwork. Only by working together can we score our greatest achievements, both on and off the field. We're proud to be part of the Saluda team and continue to support our local students through programs like Bright Ideas, Washington Youth Tour, and awarding scholarships throughout the year. We're proud to invest in Saluda and your children's future. Just another way we're in your corner at Mid-Carolina Electric Cooperative. MIGS of Saluda, serving tasty dishes, appetizers, fresh salads, hot out of the oven fresh subs, chicken, steak, and seafood, and the best Italian dishes and pizza around. Visit them today, 216 Greenwood Highway. For a drive-through or pickup, call ahead, 864-445-9990. At Motor Coach Paint and Body, we put quality first. Whether it's your vehicle, RV, boat, or aircraft, we can handle it all. Leave it to us to take care of your insurance claims, or you can pay us right out of your pocket. So call BR Britt Reams today, 864-445-7747, and like us on Facebook. Newberry County Memorial Hospital, your hospital. Our mission is to provide exceptional care with a personal touch. Newberry Hospital is engaged in the passionate pursuit of optimal care, treatment, and convenience. Our goal is to always be the first choice for your quality health care needs. No one handles care better. NewberryHospital.org. There's only one thing faster than a Stuart Young offense. YourNorthland.com. With internet, cable, TV, and phone beginning at $25 a month, you can get out of the slow lane and into the fast lane in no time. So speed it up with YourNorthland.com. Northland Cable, a proud supporter of Saluda Tiger Athletics. And we're back here with you on Tiger Talk Tuesday, coming live from MIGS. Call in or comment your questions, 864-980-7768. We are talking with Daniel Stone, analyzing this 16-team playoff based on the final college football poll rankings and by the committee. And we were talking about some of the comments that were on the post we did earlier. Could you talk about that a little bit, Daniel?
One of these, it's an interesting thought, and it's talking about, going to some sort of like March Madness type playoff system that like the NCAA basketball tournament goes. Pros and cons of that. I mean, the only problem is you're talking potentially, 6 weeks of elimination games. So, maybe it works at basketball where you're already playing a ton of games during the regular season.
Yeah, one of the things that I hear a lot is it gets interferes with their academics. But how is it interferes with their academics but yet not with basketball?
I just think that it's the way that the season is laid out, and then the March Madness tournament could be in between semesters, or right at maybe the tournament starts at the closing of a semester and at the beginning of a new one. I know that the College Football Committee did talk about they didn't want football to fall into 2 different semesters. If you keep the current bowl schedule the way it is, and you use the bowl schedule as your playoff, then you wouldn't have that issue anyway, because it would actually end around the same time, if not before it currently does. This other comment actually makes it's becoming like the NFL. College is. It really is. In certain ways. Players are now going to be able to be paid for their likenesses and things of that nature.
Right.
The transfer portal has opened up a whole new realm of things.
Yeah, and speaking of that, I'm not trying to get out on a limb, but there was a big transfer yesterday as South Carolina grabbed up Spencer Rattler. He committed to the Gamecocks from Oklahoma. It's the biggest commit they have ever had from a quarterback in the history of the school.
It's huge. You're talking a 5-star recruit coming out of high school. You're talking about a kid who was a front runner for the Heisman Trophy going into this season.
Wow.
I mean, Spencer Rattler has the total package as a quarterback. Now, the hope is that his maturation, his maturity level coming from Oklahoma over to South Carolina will help elevate everybody around him. He definitely has the talent. Obviously we're not in that program, the Oklahoma program, to see what transpired to get him taken out for Williams, the quarterback that they ended up going with for most of the season. But he has the athleticism, the tools, and the intangibles, I think, to be a huge pickup for the Gamecocks, and that's all thanks to the transfer portal. Now, in years past, he has to sit a year, but now NCAA says that players can move, and they don't have to have that 1 year of wait or 1 year eligibility to transfer. So really, going back to the comment that college is becoming like the NFL, you can sometimes make the argument that the transfer portal is no different than free agency in the NFL.
Right.
And now when we look at this college football playoff, let's say we don't use the format of the 16 teams based off the football playoff committee's ranking, and you say, out of the 10 or 11 major conferences there are in college football, all the winners get a spot in the playoffs. So let's say there's 10. So you got the top 10 are, your conference champions.
Right.
And then you have 6 at large. So then a committee or a ranking would determine who the last 6 are. So,
and it's interesting you could speak of that because I was looking at some comments on a different post on this, and people argue 16 is too much. Why not keep it at 8 at the sweet stop? But like you're talking about, this allows all the conference champions, and I think that's what this is, right?
Yeah.
It's the conference champions. Of course,
no,
Notre
this one
Dame,
is just the top 16 at the
it's
final
top
ranking.
16 of the final
Which
ranking.
typically your conference champions are going to be.
Because Notre Dame's got to be in that situation.
Absolutely, but they could get one of the at-large. If there was 10 conference champions, Notre Dame would be fighting for one of those at-large bids, or you'll see some of these schools that are independents joining conferences.
And somebody said, what about a 12-team playoff where 1 and 4 gets a bye week?
Absolutely. Those are all scenarios I think that are great. I think that the key is that we're hamstringing ourselves at the 4 level, because somebody's always left out almost every year, usually one or two teams. 6 may be enough, but I don't think it's quite enough. I think that you have to go 8 and above at minimum. I like the 16 because it gives everybody a chance, and I just like to see more college football. So
I do too.
That's
what Rusty Barger said. Absolutely, there's been the format in this FCS for 40 years, and none of this neutral site junk. All home games for the higher ranked team until the championship. That's what you were just talking about earlier.
Or at least when you dwindle down to the semifinal, then you can go neutral. But until then, to help cut costs, you do it. Especially at least the first round. It's got to be the higher ranking team gets home field.
Yeah, I'd love to see that myself. And and think about that situation there, and it's got me thinking about it, and how good that would be. Of course, the money's going to come into play there too.
Mm-hmm.
We looked at we did a post this today about the college football's most valuable programs. You see here, of course, Texas A&M. That has to do with oil money.
Well, that and just, traditionally, those are some of the oldest college football programs.
Right.
I think their alumni, their pockets run deep.
Yes.
It's Texas
yeah.
football.
There you go.
Some of these programs I was actually surprised to see as high on this list. Like
Yeah.
Arkansas at number 16, I was a little shocked. Even even Oregon at 14. These are fairly newer programs.
Well,
that's
is that the Under Armour school, Oregon?
They are, but
Yeah.
they started the trend, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but some of these top programs, I'm not surprised at all.
Yeah. And I was surprised South Carolina was high as they were, $95 million a year versus Clemson, $77 million.
Yeah, especially since
and
they've
it's
been
fixing to
struggling.
be more money.
Yeah.
Because when Texas and Oklahoma join, you can see those are the big boys up there.
Mm-hmm.
And Alabama and Georgia, they're talking about giving those schools millions more dollars a year for the TV, like $30 million a year.
Yeah, well, I'd be curious to see what their TV contracts with the with the Big 12 stand at, because I know that they're the two top money makers for those now, and I know that's what was a main deterrent for them joining the SEC several years ago when they were approached by it. I know that the Pac-12 tried to bring in Texas several times. I think over the course of the last 10 years or so, maybe a little bit longer, but. Yeah, and this is only showing you what the program makes. This doesn't show you now what the kids are going to make in some of these programs, right? So,
right, the NIL, all that's in, which all this is new, uncharted territory, and so all this is transpiring right before our eyes, with the transfer portals, NIL going on. Some of the coaches are fighting it. Listen, I'm afraid. That's went by. That's water on the bridge now. You got to sink or swim now, because it's part of the factor of competing for these players, getting out there and getting them. And these businesses are gobbling up the NIL. I was thinking, who could we have on here and pay them to come on now? How much our ratings will go up, just like that. Bam.
Yeah,
it's
it's definitely a business more than it is an athletic, or I should say, college is all about getting a degree and going to school and bettering yourself, getting an education. And for these athletes, it's even more now a lucrative opportunity.
Yes.
Which I think that there are some programs that probably need to do a better job taking care of athletes, but anyone's on this list, I'm sure those athletes are very well taken care of, whether it be for food.
Well, I think Texas, didn't they say they was going to pay $50,000 a year for the O-line? I heard that last week.
I don't know.
I heard that last week. Everybody on the O-line, if you're a starter, get $50,000 a year just for being on the O-line. Yeah. But now they're going to use your NIL with the school. They're going to make up for it in jersey sales,
appearances,
everything.
Yeah, all that stuff.
And all that matters, especially when you're on TV.
Can you imagine that being 19 years old, making $50,000 a year?
Yeah, I started out,
plus a free education
minimum
on top
wage,
of it.
$3.75 an hour.
My minimum wage was a little more than that. But,
All right. When we come back, we'll talk some more, and we want you to get involved with our Pick'em contest. That's what we're going to talk about next. And if you have any more comments on the playoff scenario, we'll talk about that, as well as Spencer Rattler transferring to South Carolina. You're watching Tiger Talk Tuesday live from MIGS. Call in or comment 864-980-7768. You're watching Saluda Now. Pascon Roll-Off Container Services, now serving the Saluda area with commercial and residential front-load dumpsters. Pascon has the perfect size container to meet your needs. 2, 4, 6, and 8 cubic yard dumpsters. Contact Pascon at 803-359-9334 and partner with a family-owned business from right here in your local community. Visit them today online at passcon.net. Perez Tire, new and used tires, repairs and oil changes, brake change, balance and rotation of tires. They're open Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., 182 Lee Street, Johnston, and 108 Batesburg Highway in Saluda. Call for your tire size, 864-445-3732. Come play the thrill of the hill at Persimmon Hill Golf Club. With the longest hole in South Carolina, you're sure to be challenged. Afterwards, unwind with your friends around the 19th hole in our restaurant. 126 Golf Club Avenue. We welcome to see you at Persimmon Hill Golf Club. Price's Garage and Heavy Duty Towing. For over 50 years, we've been serving our customers by providing reasonable services at prices you can afford. When it comes time to get your car or truck towed in, call us, 864-543-2957. We serve 96 and Saluda 24/7. Price's Garage and Heavy Duty Towing.
BB jamming. Oh, I'm so hungry. BB jamming. Oh, I need something in my tummy. BB jamming. Oh, I got a lot of munchies. Or a sandwich or a Twinkie or something cold to drink. Cold to drink. You supposed to say pumps, PB, and jam, fool. Pumps, PB, and jam, fool. You know you supposed to say pumps, PB, and jam, dummy. Pumps, PB, and jam, dummy. Come to Pumps, PB, and jam. We open Wednesday through Saturday, 5 a.m. to 2 p.m. Come see us. We'll see you there.
When you have experienced the loss of a loved one, you can trust the Ramey Funeral Home staff to guide you through the process of honoring their life. At RameyFuneralHome.com, you can find pre-planning information, obituaries, as well as resources for grief and healing. Ramey Funeral Home, a proud supporter of Saluda Tiger Athletics. Reclaim Physical Therapy. Call us today at 803-317-6159 to book an appointment in our private one-on-one treatment environment or schedule an in-home PT visit. Reclaiming wellness on the path to wholeness. Reclaim Physical Therapy. At Saluda Nursing and Rehab Center, caring is a way of life. Our 176-bed nursing facility serves Saluda County since 1968. We offer 24/7 skilled nursing care, and our staff is consistent, compassionate, caring, and knowledgeable. Outpatient rehab therapy services are provided through Physicians Order Services. Call for a free tour, 864-445-2146 or saludanursing.org. Saluda Truck and Tractor Pool, the hottest pool in the South, at SaludaYoungFarmer.org. Congratulate our 2021 Saluda Young Farmer Scholarship recipients, Adriano Derrick, Wyatt Doolittle, Dawson Holzenbach, Quentin Miller, and Drew Proctor. At Saluda Young Farmers, we're committed to build a better community. Thanks for your support. The Lakeland's conservative voice at the State House, Billy Garrett. From bringing new businesses to the Lakelands, to speaking to young people at schools, to recognizing civic organizations, as well as getting legislation passed at the State House. Your senator is working hard for you, Billy Garrett. And we're glad to be back here with you on Saluda Now. Call in or comment 864-980-7768. And we've got a very special guest on the line, Nick Riley from Moore, Bradley, and Myers. Nick, thank you for joining us on Saluda Now.
Thank you, Burton. We're glad to be here, man. Glad to be here.
And we're promoting a very special event coming up December the 23rd, right before Christmas, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's the Bike Bonanza 2021. Tell us a little bit more about it, Nick.
Thank you, Burton. You know, we wanted to take an opportunity as a law firm. We've been in Saluda now for at least 20 years, and the citizens of Saluda have been so good to us. We were trying to think of a way to try to give back to the community and make this a yearly thing. What we've decided is that December 23rd, between the hours of 11 and 1, we will be at the Saluda County Park over on Jefferson Street. We will have hot dogs and refreshments. I think we're planning on having a jump castle. We're finally making the plans on that. And the whole purpose of the event is to raffle away free bikes to the children in the Saluda community. We have at least 10 bikes and maybe as many as 15 or 20. We're still working on the final numbers that we plan on raffling off to young people in Saluda. These bikes will be 100% free. All of the event is a completely free event. There's only a few rules. The first thing is the bike raffle will be at 12:15. You must be present in order to receive a bike. Every child who comes to the event will receive a raffle ticket for free, and that raffle ticket will be used for the drawing. The child must be present, and there can only be one bike per family, as long as supplies last. We recognize that with COVID and the price increases on everything, some parents and some people in the community could be struggling more this year than in years past. We want to try to help those families, and even if we have families that aren't struggling as much but just need a bike for their child, this would be a great opportunity to come out and meet the team that we have at Moore, Bradley, and Myers, Chris Bradley and myself, as well as our office staff, talk with us, and more importantly, try to get a bike for a child in the community. If you know someone who is unable to get there, but maybe you want to try to come get a bike on their behalf, and you want your child to stand in for them and get the raffle ticket, that would be okay too. But our hope is that these bikes will reach people who truly need them, can truly use them, and just be a positive, make a positive impact on the local community. During the event, we encourage folks that if you already have a bike and you want to ride your bike around the track, that's certainly acceptable. If you want to bring a football and throw it, or a frisbee, or whatever it is, we're hoping this is just an event that's a lot of fun for everyone, and it's an event that we would like to do in the future, in a yearly event on behalf of our law firm for the local people of Saluda. Saluda has been very good to me. I've turned 40 next month, and I've lived here basically my whole life, and my family has as well, and I think it's a great place to raise a child and be a part of a local community, and we would just like to try to give back to that community with this event.
Well, that's amazing, Nick, and we appreciate y'all doing this. Moore, Bradley, and Myers, and that event's going to be at the town of Saluda Park next week, December 23rd. It's hard to believe Christmas is almost here, and y'all going to make Christmas very special for 20 well-deserving young people here in Saluda.
Thank you, Burton. I appreciate you having me on. People in Saluda look for flyers around town about the event. I think the event will also be on the electronic billboard near the old Huddle House for a period of time. So spread the word to all individual members of the Saluda community. It would be my sincere hope that we have absolutely so much support for this event. We're left wondering how many bikes we will need to purchase for next year's event. There's the number is not too small. We would absolutely like as many as we can to try to come out and hang out with us.
Moore, Bradley, and Myers, they're giving back to our community through the Bike Bonanza 2021 there this coming December the 23rd, just next week. They're going to have hot dogs, some games for folks, play, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., free bike raffle at 12:15. You must be present. One bike per family is eligible with a raffle ticket. There's 20 bikes going to be given away. Looking forward to this event. Thank you, Nick, for joining us on Saluda Now.
Thank you, Burton.
All right, that's Nick Riley from Moore, Bradley, and Myers. We'll come back. We're going to have more college football talk with Daniel Stone. You're watching Tiger Talk Tuesday live from MIGS on your Saluda Now. The Charlie Foundation, building a brighter future here in Saluda. Since its inception, they have been working with Piedmont Technical College to make scholarships available to young people, as well as Girls State and Boys State, and community projects to make Saluda a better place. The Charlie Foundation, building a brighter future here in Saluda County. The law office of Nancy T. Jordan specializes in family court matters and representing individuals injured in automobile collisions. At the law office of Nancy T. Jordan, you get experienced, compassionate results. When you need legal representation, call 803-785-7879 or email Nancy at nancyjordanlaw.com. The Ridge Baptist Association is 24 member churches sharing the gospel of Christ. We partner together, serve alongside each other, learn from one another, and connect to God. We invite you to come visit us this Sunday in one of our member churches. Ridge Baptist Association, better together.
12 hours.
It's time for Tiger, and we're glad to be back. anyway, we're back, and you're seeing here Buford, and they're going up against Langston Hughes. Well, it's the end of the game. The field goal kicker has never kicked a field goal all year long.
In a game situation.
In a game situation. He's only kicked extra points. So Langston Hughes is setting up themselves to get in the end zone. They're in field goal range, but they feel like they can't get it in quite in the end zone. And you're seeing here, there goes the flag. Here comes the touchdown. No, he didn't get it, okay? Now, watch the fans. Look, let me pause it here. The fans are getting up out of their seat. I want you to see this. This is a big stadium now. Here it goes for the end zone one more time. Can't get the man. He can't get a touchdown. You see how close they are?
Yeah.
Notice the fans are getting up. They have assigned seating, but the whole end zone out here is empty. So they're getting up. That Buford takes a timeout, and their fans are running to get behind the goalpost.
To try to rattle the kicker.
To rattle the kicker.
Yep.
So watch. Kicks a dub, and Buford wins 21-20. End of regulation. They're the Georgia State champions in 3A football. You just seen that. In fact, that's the same crowd that beat Rabun County out, for their division there. So, and there's the coach with the trophy. What a way to end the game. I mean, here you
got to give a lot of credit to that other team for being able to march down the field like that and set themselves up at least for an opportunity to win the game. Now, you also got to tell the coach that was probably the smartest thing he did was send all those fans over to try to ice a kicker that's already probably sweating bullets. But hopefully, the other coach just told his kicker that you've kicked this 1,000 times in practice.
Yeah. And maybe his team, can you imagine going to school Monday morning and you missed the field goal?
That would be rough.
State championship.
That would be rough.
I hope they're coming up to him saying, this would have happened anyway, and be understanding.
Absolutely.
I think maybe
I think they are.
Yeah.
And I'm probably sure that the coach said something right after the game. Hey guys, look, don't put this on him. We put ourselves in the position that, we should have been kicking a field goal to try to win the game. We should have scored.
Now let's preview the Celebration Bowl. It's coming up December the 18th. It's between South Carolina State Bulldogs, Willie Jeffries, going up against the Jackson State Jaguars, Neon Deion Sanders. We got a little preview of that to give us a little background about what it's all about here at the Celebration Bowl in Atlanta, Georgia, 12 o'clock noon this coming Saturday. We're going to get the sound issue worked out, and we'll be back after this commercial break. You're watching Tiger Talk Tuesday live from MIGS on your Slow to Now.
Barbershop seems like a long time, which it is. But I tell you what, doing something that you like, it makes it a lot easier.
The South Carolina Education Lottery has provided over $800 million to help students attend technical colleges across our state, investing in a new generation of entrepreneurs, just like James.
The town of Saluda, working together for the betterment of our municipality. We encourage the Tigers tonight, both on the field and off the field, as they work in the classroom. And we are a proud supporter of Saluda now. The Wills Agency, your local nationwide insurance agent, is open to serve you with offices in Aiken, Batesburg, and Saluda. Call for your free quote today for auto, home, life, and business. Let me help you save today. James S. Wills Agency. Nationwide is on your side.
You know what I'm saying? Because everybody in here got a chance to go to that next level.
Yo, welcome back to Cut Day Sports. I'm Reggie Reg, aka Cut. Y'all know what time it is. The Celebration Bowl is quickly approaching, so we must talk about South Carolina State's not-so-secret weapon, Kendrell Flowers. Before we begin, man, if you're not already subscribed, go ahead and handle that little piece of business. And if it's not too much trouble, y'all can go ahead and hit that like button too. All right, let's go ahead and get on into it. Flowers did not disappoint in his first season as a Bulldog. In 10 games, he rushed for 811 yards for 10 touchdowns, as well as 147 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, man. When looking at the raw numbers, I said to myself, okay, decent player. But when I actually watched the film, I saw something special. 3 aspects of Flowers' game that separates him from his peers are yards after contact, playmaking ability, and vision. I've chosen a few plays to highlight these attributes. Let's take a look. This first clip is one of my favorite runs by Flowers. He gives the business to 2 DBs in this clip.
All right. And it's going to be a handoff to Kendrell Flowers. Nice piece of running. Picks up the first down. Bowls over a player. Still on his feet. Down to the 30-yard line.
He's consistently falling forward, churning his legs through contact, and looking for extra yardage. The freeze frame you're seeing right now with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 New Mexico State defenders ends up in the touchdown. And number 15 and 24, the 2 closest defenders, they get absolutely embarrassed.
Fields throws are in 2nd down and 6 underneath to Flowers. That's a good sign for the Bulldogs. He's back in the game. And he bulldozes.
This should be the opening play on all SC State highlight reels this season. In football, you can teach a lot of things, but what y'all just saw, that's not one of them. You cannot teach it. That's not a drill for that. Wait, hold up. And he got a stiff arm. Oh man, there's nothing special to that. That's your typical power back. Wrong. Nah, man, Flowers is an every down back. He can catch the ball. He runs with power. He runs with speed. He has really good vision. He's aggressive, man. Every single run, he's trying to make his presence felt and leave his mark on the game. He want to go down as one of the greatest backs in school history. That came out of his mouth. Against Jackson State, he's going to be a very important piece if South Carolina State hopes to pull out a victory. Kendrell Flowers is a phenomenal athlete, and I can't wait to watch him play in the Celebration Bowl December 18th, 12 p.m. Eastern Time in Atlanta, Georgia at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. I got my ticket, man. Y'all better go ahead and get y'all's. See y'all there. Cut Day out.
Hey, yes, sir. Thank you so much for sharing that video with us. And the Celebration Bowl, of course, is coming up this coming Saturday. And you got any thoughts on that?
You know, I mean, anytime you get to see, you know, Deion Sanders coach, I mean, it's obviously it's going to be entertaining. Now, I know that the last game he was on a little, he has got a boot on his leg, so he wasn't, you know, doing any dancing. But no, I think everything I've heard about that Jackson State program, I mean, Deion Sanders has come in there and really turned that program around. And, you know, I guess you're about to see what South Carolina State can do and see if they can't get one out, get a win at the, you know, and it's right there in Atlanta. So I'm sure it's probably a great family atmosphere. So
imagine the battle of the bands
Yeah.
Great
Absolutely.
there, and I'm definitely gonna have my DVR. Like I said, we had a family booth. I'm not gonna be able to see it, and that goes right into our pick'ems contest. And that, by the way, is our game of the week. That's right. You guessed the right score between the on the Cricket Celebration Bowl, South Carolina State versus Jackson State. Get the right score and win a $50 gift card, courtesy of Timeless Roofing. And Timeless Roofing, over 25 years of experience, licensed and insured before and after. You'll see the difference. Quality and integrity never get old. TimelessRoofingSC.com. Call for a free quote. 803-853-0021. So pick the winning game and win it. Now we see some scenarios here. We'll first cover college football, then we're going to come back and talk about the NFL. App State, Western Kentucky, they're going to be the first bowl game at 11 a.m. this Saturday. I don't even know which bowl game that is. I'm trying to look it up.
It's the roofclaim.com Boca Raton Bowl.
Okay, that's important. I know that much. Boca Raton. And 3-point favorite App State. What you think on that one?
Well, I don't think I'd ever bet against Appalachian State after what they did to Michigan back in the day. So, they, I think it's their second year in the actual FBS, or moving up into the big boys team. So, yeah, Appalachian State.
And Western Kentucky. And by the way, I don't know how the tornadoes have affected Kentucky, but our thoughts and prayers go out to the family there in Kentucky. I think they had over 70 people lose their life in this unexpected tornado. I think it affected also parts of West Virginia and some other states up there. Our thoughts, I'm not going to Ohio, our thoughts and prayers.
Yeah, Missouri, Illinois, all those. I want to say they said that the tornadoes were in a stretch of like 250 miles. It's
we actually had a twister done through Saluda one time. The fortunate thing about it is it happened on Sunday afternoon, and a lot of the people had already had warning to get out of the way, but it started in Saluda, went all the way up to North Carolina. It did claim a couple of our residents' lives. Never will forget that Sunday afternoon. Actually, we were at church, the lights went out, we went outside and didn't know what happened, because that's before cell phones,
Mhm.
We had them in our car, the bag phones, you remember?
Yeah, oh yeah.
And, but our thoughts are with those people. And then our next game, of course, is the game we just talked about. Jackson State is favored by 10 over the Bulldogs.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's one of those, like you said, I don't know enough about either of the teams, but I think that he's got them coached up. I'm sure that team's running more NFL level concepts than the South Carolina State. So I would assume that they'll probably cover that spread.
Fresno and UTEP. That'll be a good game. What bowl game is that?
So that is the PUBG Mobile New Mexico Bowl.
All right.
Yeah, the names get longer as we go down the list.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, Fresno State is a very competitive team.
Yeah.
I know UTEP is having a great season, but I would absolutely go with Fresno State. They're a solid team. I mean, I want to say they're favored by 13 at this point.
Right.
So.
Okay. That line's moved actually a little bit up from 12. BYU and UAB, they're going to have a 3:30 start. What game is that?
That is the Radiance Technologies Independence Bowl.
All right, some funny names there. And the bowls always are changing their sponsorship, so like Saluda now.
Yeah, and this one, I mean, this is an easy call for me. I mean, this is BYU. If we did have a 16-team playoff, BYU would be in it. I mean, they've definitely came on more in the second half of the season, I believe. So it's great to see those guys get an opportunity to at least play in a ball game, and that one's going to be out in Louisiana. So.
Okay. All right. And the next game we see there is Liberty and University. They're playing in a 5:45 matchup against Eastern Michigan, where Liberty is a 9-point favorite.
Yep, this is the Lending Tree Bowl. Liberty's surprisingly the favorite in this bowl game. I don't know enough about either one of the teams to to really make a prediction, but I mean, it should be interesting. I've really never watched much Liberty play. I've seen Eastern Michigan play several times. I'm not sure the weather's going to favor Eastern Michigan coming from way up north and coming down to Mobile, Alabama to play a bowl game, but we'll see. Should be a good game.
All right. And, of course, BYU and UAB, where BYU was 7-point favorite in that matchup.
Yeah, we talked about that one.
Okay, we didn't talk about that.
Yep.
Radiance, okay.
Absolutely.
All right, Oregon State and Utah State, and Oregon State was 7-point favorite in a 7:30 matchup though.
Yeah, I mean, this is the Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl. No joke. Jimmy Kimmel's got his own bowl game now.
Now, somebody said something to me yesterday about being like Jimmy Kimmel. I don't know if you've seen my post on my personal page, but I'll throw it up there to see what you think. We were actually in Batesburg last night. Me and my wife went out on a cheap date to Sheely's Barbecue, because on Monday night they have what they call the Budget Saver Night.
Mm-hmm.
And you can get to eat there for as a senior citizen. Everybody there eats as a senior citizen.
Gotcha.
So it's like $10. I mean, it's unreal how cheap it is. And
Now, is that buffet style?
it's buffet style. I'm gonna have to get you a gift card over there for you and your family. And it's good food. I mean, you can get anything you want over there. Barbecue chicken. They even had a hamburger steak over there last night. And that's actually, I know the fans can't see it. I just want them to see this. But ever since I have seen this, and I didn't know enough about Jimmy Kimmel to realize that's what he does, is he will use, like, if he sees something or reads something, he'll sort of look at the name and read it like it is, or
Oh, I get you. Yep.
so I call this the dollar tray. Everything's $1 with tray.
Yeah, that's right.
So, because two of the R and the E's out there, and everybody was saying, you like Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. All right, the next one is.
Well, let's go ahead and talk about that Oregon State-Utah State game real quick. So both programs are having down years. I mean, both these programs, I want to say, 2 years removed from competing for a Pac-12 championship.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but at least they get another shot at it. I'd rather see more teams other than Pac-12 going at each other, but, should be a good game, and that's right there in California, so enjoy.
And is it Lafayette? Is that Lafayette?
It should be. Who are they playing?
9-15.
Marshall.
5-point favorite.
Yeah, so actually UL Lafayette is actually ranked number 23 right now.
Okay.
It's the RL Carriers New Orleans
I've
Bowl.
watched that before.
Yeah, they do a good time. I mean, anytime you can go have a football game in New Orleans, it's always a good time.
And that school is right there near the
Yep.
dome.
So it's really a home game for them.
It is,
so that's probably why they're favored it the way they are.
And this is a good matchup here. 2:30. I guess this is either Sunday or Monday. Tulsa and Old Dominion.
Yeah, that's a Monday game.
Okay.
Yep, and it's
they're
the.
going at it 9.5 favorites.
Yeah, so they've actually reduced that. Now it's Tulsa by 7.5. It's the Myrtle Beach Bowl presented by Tax Act.
Oh, right.
Yep, right in Conway, South Carolina. So, sounds like an early Christmas present to me, right?
Sounds like it.
Yeah, I mean, you got two programs getting after it, so
When we come back, we'll look at the pros. You're watching Tiger Talk Tuesday, live from MIGS on your Saluda Now.
Timeless Roofing, over 25 years experience, licensed and insured. Before and after, you can see quality and integrity. Never gets old. TimelessRoofingSC.com. Call for a free quote, 803-687-4184. And tell them Cuz sent you.
At Tucker's Lawn Care Services, we take care of your yard. Call us for a free quote. 864-993-7573. We'll cut your grass and landscape your yard at Tucker's Lawn Care. Back here on Tiger Talk Tuesday, and we've been talking about, of course, the college football playoff with Daniel Stone, and we were talking about some of those college games, with the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, it's.
Yeah.
I love college. I mean, you said it. College football. It's an amazing time. I mean, I'll watch any college football game, but the fact that we have some of these games that are just, I mean, lesser producing teams, programs that are barely, above 500 to become bowl eligible, playing in these bowl games. I'd much rather see some of the, this playoff system playing in these bowl games. Right. You match up, the Michigan Iowa game into the Tax Slayer Bowl instead of, some random teams that nobody's heard of. I think that would be the way to go.
And let's look at our NFL draws for the week. Of course, this is going to start a good long weekend of it. And we see here, and Las Vegas is in this mix. Of course, we have a situation going on. They actually say that Las Vegas is going to go after Harbaugh at Michigan and Dabo Swinney at Clemson.
Yeah, I mean, we got pictures. We've seen Dabo hanging out with,
And you brought up an interesting point too. Would Dabo be there if they were preparing for
a college football playoff? They wouldn't be. Now, granted, they've had quite a down year according to their standards, so they were out of the playoff anyway. Correct, and so, yeah, I mean, if they were in the thick of it, not even in the top 4, but within that top 16 or one of those at-large picks, depending on the format, we wouldn't be talking about Dabo Swinney sitting in Vegas. No. We'd be talking about how he's prepping to play a playoff game.
They're going to be playing Cleveland, where Cleveland's a 6-point favorite in that game.
Yeah, I mean, this is a subjective one. I'll throw it out there on the air. I'm a Bengals fan. So, I love glutton for punishment, but we're a young team. So, clearly I hope Vegas wins. But Cleveland, it's hit or miss with Cleveland. They're either going to play really good or they're going to play really bad.
They're going to be at home in this.
Yeah, and their defense came on a little bit last week, so I look for Cleveland to try to bounce back and get this one. But, go Raiders on this one for me.
All right, and then we see the Colts, and they're hosting New England Patriots, where they're just a 2-point favorite.
This is a potential playoff game right here, and I don't mean it's going to determine the playoffs, but these are two playoff caliber teams.
Yeah.
Bill Belichick, it's hard to bet against a guy, But then Indianapolis, they found a solid run game with Taylor. Pittman's catching everything that's thrown at him on the outside. There's Wentz is up and down, right? Some instability there, but I mean they're playing solid defense. And then New England's New England. They are a system. They have the approach. They come at it. Mac Jones has been fantastic. Might even, in my opinion, be a Rookie of the Year candidate right now. I mean, he's just playing at the level of a savvy veteran. So, granted, he didn't have many yards passing last week, but, do you need it if you win the game? So.
It's all about winning. And then we see the Eagles here in a 1 o'clock matchup, and they're going against the Washington team. They're a 6-point favorite at home.
Yeah, what do you think about that one?
I think Washington team, they're coming off that big win they had last week, but I think the Eagles are going to be too tough for them at home.
Yeah, Eagles are fast.
Yeah.
So it'll be curious. Is Hurts back? I can't even know.
I don't know.
So
we'll see.
Be curious who's under center.
Will be announced at the last minute.
Yeah.
Then Buffalo, they want to get back on the winning ways after losing to Washington last week. They're going against our Carolina Panthers. It's going to be a snowball up there, 11-point favorite.
Whew! I mean, Buffalo they are on the cusp of losing what could be a great season for them. I mean, they are you're right. They got to get back on track. And Carolina, they're just trying to find the track right now. So I hope for the best. You know, it's anytime you lose McCaffrey for the season, you're gonna struggle running the ball a little bit, and the uncertainty at quarterback. Cam Newton's trying his best to fill in, but I don't know. I think that Buffalo's gonna be a little too strong for him in that weather.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how Cam does against the Bills. Then we see Dallas. This is another great matchup, and they're going up against the Giants, where they're favored 11 points at the Giants.
Yeah, and the only thing that doesn't take into account is that this is a division game, which we know, especially in that NFC division there where they're at. You know, it don't matter whether you got one win or you're undefeated. When it's a division opponent, you could lose it all. So I look for this game to be a lot closer than 11 points initially. So hopefully Dallas can find their run game and Zeke gets on his game and they get the victory. So I'm rooting for Dallas in this one.
All right, and then in the sunny confines of 1 o'clock start, the Miami Dolphins go against the New York Jets, where they're a 6.5 point favorite against the Jets.
So you think Tua can keep his win streak alive? Well,
Be interesting to see.
I mean, it is the Jets, though, right?
Yeah,
so
right.
you know they should be able to.
Yeah, so we'll see about that. And then we see a great matchup here. The Cheeseheads, Green Bay going against Baltimore. They're at Baltimore, and they're favored just by 4.5.
Well, and I think that number could grow depending on Lamar Jackson's availability. So we know he got carted off the field. They're optimistic he might be able to play, but I think it's all going to come. If he plays, it could be a good game. Yeah, I don't know what it was. He carted off the field. I don't know if it was a leg injury or not. I'd have to look into that. But, you know, if he's back, great. Then I think it's a more competitive game. But if it's not, I think that margin is going to increase.
Then we see Tennessee, and they're going against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I tell you what, this is going to be a close one at home for Pittsburgh, 2-point favorite.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, Pittsburgh's another one of those teams. It depends on, you know, who shows up. Is it old Ben or new Ben? You know.
Yeah.
And Tennessee, I can't get a gauge on Tennessee without Derrick Henry. So I think every week it's hard to pick for them and pick against them. So.
Then we see the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're going have a home matchup with Houston, and they're a 3-point favorite in this, just a field goal.
I think at the beginning of the year when I looked at Jacksonville's schedule, I said that if there's one game they can win, it's probably Houston.
How about that?
You know, I mean, that organization's new from top to bottom.
Yes.
We know Trevor Lawrence is struggling.
Right.
But I think that there's one game that he can build some confidence up. It'll be against Houston, who basically gutted their entire roster in the offseason. So I would go for Jacksonville in this one.
And then we see Arizona and Detroit. Ought to be a great matchup there in Detroit, where the Cardinals are favored by 14.
I'm surprised it's that low. You know, I got a good buddy up in Alaska who's a diehard Lions fan, and I just feel bad for him every week. But the one week they won, every team that I liked lost. So I cannot see Arizona losing this game, especially with the loss that they just had against the Rams. I think they come in, and I would be surprised if it's not more than 14.
All right, then we're going to go out to the West Coast, and we see San Francisco 49ers going up against the Atlanta Falcons. San Francisco's favored at home in this matchup, 9 points.
Yeah, I mean, San Francisco's coming off an emotional overtime win against my Bengals. So when Deebo Samuel's on the field, that's a whole different team. And so I feel like if he plays in this game, Atlanta has shown that they're a 50-50 team this year. And I just don't think that they have the continuity within their defense. Not necessarily their offense, because they got the talent, but defensively to stop the 49ers and their pretty potent offense at this point.
Yeah, that'll be interesting matchup. Going to watch that one. It's going to be a 4:30 matchup. Then we see Denver and Cincinnati, and going to be a great matchup here. And it's about a pick of 1.5 point favorite there at Mile High Stadium.
This is a game for both teams that it's going to come down to who wants it more. because both teams are right on that playoff bubble. Cincinnati is they got to find a way to close out the game and not start slow, and Denver's defense has really come on. Now, granted, their last couple opponents haven't been on that great, and they just played Detroit last week, so it's hard to gauge them. But I look forward to seeing a Bengal win, but, you know, who knows?
All right. And I'll be pulling for your Bengals, too, on that.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah. And then we'll see Los Angeles and Seattle matched up. They're going to be there in L.A. They're a field goal favorite in that game.
Yeah, it's actually surprising to me because the Rams have played some pretty good football the last few weeks, and Seattle, you know, you don't know which team's going to show up on the field, which Russell Wilson you're going to get. So I would have thought that spread would have been bigger, but it is the NFL, right? So you're not going to have college spreads. Yeah. So I would be 50-50 on this game. Who do you think is going to take it?
I think that you'll see L.A.
Yeah.
I think you're right. The Lions will. Tampa Bay, 11-point favorite over New Orleans, and that's a 4-30 matchup.
Yeah, for me, this comes down to I just don't think that the starting quarterback of the New Orleans Saints is on their roster. I mean, they don't have it. Yeah, Drew Brees left such a void that no other quarterback they have on the roster is fitting in Sean Payton's system or scheme, and then Tampa Bay is just too good to give an opportunity to. So Tampa Bay, hands down.
And we finish out tonight, Minnesota and Chicago. This might be the Monday night matchup, or the Sunday night on NBC. And that'll be a good game. 3.5-point difference in this.
Yeah, I think this is a good game. I think you have two teams that have really been, you know, up and down all season, and Chicago has the ability to compete as well as does Minnesota. You know, so it'll be interesting. I personally, I'm going to root for Chicago in this one, especially if Andy Dalton's behind the helm, just because I'm a sucker for former Banger quarterback. So I think Chicago will go ahead and pull this one out.
Well, Daniel, I sure appreciate you coming out.
No, this has been a.
And I want to get you to come back with
Yeah, I would love it. Any time.
I love your knowledge of sports, and of course you're in the Army and you here to salute, and we're glad to have you.
Yeah, my family and I, we thank you guys for such a warm welcome to the community. Oh, this is fantastic. My wife, she came here before I even got here, and all she raved about was, all right, when you get here, we're going to MIGS. We're going to MIGS. And we probably come almost weekly. You know, it's just a great atmosphere. It's a great place, you know. So we really enjoy it. So.
Well, we appreciate you coming by, and fans, please shout out to us. Let us know what you want us to talk about. We'll be back here next week with another bowl edition of Tiger Talk Tuesday live from me. Thank y'all for joining us today, and Daniel, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, sir.
It's time for Tiger Talk Tuesday, coming live from MIGS. Tiger Talk Tuesday is sponsored by Ag South, Aiken Electric Cooperative, Amick Farm, Berry Insurance Agency, CM Tree Service, Crouch Hardware and Farm Supply, Economy Furniture, Edwards Heating and Cooling, Gentry & Sons Fencing, H&R Block, JRA Exterminating, Lake Murray Properties, Mid-Carolina Electric Cooperative, MIGS of Salute, Motor Coach Paint and Body Car Sales, Newberry Hospital, Northland Baker, Pascon Roll-Off Services, Perez Tire, Persimmon Hill Country Club, the Rotten Heavy Duty Towing, Hunt's Big B and Jam, Amy Funeral Home, Reclaim Physical Therapy, Saluda Nursing and Rehab Center, Saluda Young Farmers, Senator Billy Garrett, the Best Dressed Chicken, the Charlie Foundation, the Law Office of Nancy D. George, the Ridge Baptist Association of Churches, the South Carolina Department of Education, the South Carolina Education Lottery, the Town of Saluda, the Wills Agency Nationwide Insurance, PainlessRoofingSC.com, and Tucker's Lawn Service and Landscape. We're so glad you're tuned in to the best of North Saluda on Tiger Talk Tuesday. You're watching Saluda Now.